Hi, it's Ann again, and I love discovering great gifts. I met Vince Giannetto 3 years ago at the Waterfowl Festival in Easton, Maryland. What struck me about Vince was his soft-spoken manner, which was such a contrast to all the loud voices and the electric drills whirring and the dollies rolling across the floor as we were all working very, very hard to be ready for opening the very next day. Well, Vince was ahead of the rest of us, and he finished setting up his booth early. And I peered into his booth. We were next door to each other, and I was stunned by what I saw. What I saw was exquisitely carved decoys. Let me show you one. This you will recognize as a mallard, and if you are a connoisseur of decoys, you may well recognize this as a decoy carved by Vince, and I think anyone will appreciate right away the detail of Vince's carvings. You can also see the back. Let me turn this around. I later learned that Vince is a world-class carver whose decoys are sought and bought by very sophisticated decoy collectors. I did not learn this from Vince because Vince is a humble man. I also learned that Vince is a family man, and I observed this firsthand because in his booth was his family, were members of his family, and one of his grown sons, named David, wrote an excellent biography of his father, and I want to show you that book right now because it has a terrific photograph of Vince. This is exactly what Vince Giannetto looks like. I highly recommend this book for a number of reasons. Number one, it's very well written. I've actually read it twice. And I recommend it also because it provides insights to Vince's particular carving style. And the best way to sum that up is to quote from an article in one of the many magazines that have featured articles over the years about Vince. And let me quote that right now. And specifically what this quote is about is the influence of Vince's growing up years in a small New Jersey town on the Delaware River. Quote, "For old-time hunter-carvers along the Delaware River, making decoys was just a way of life. They spent as much time seeing and often handling the real thing as they did their own work. This experience is evident in their work and has made their decoys some of the most detailed, intricate, and collectible pieces ever made. For the most part, those days are gone, along with the old-timers and their traditions. But along the Delaware, there remains an old-timer, a hunter-carver who still lives the traditions. He makes his living as a full-time carver, still spending his days out among the reeds and marshes, watching the ducks fly in. After 5 decades of carving the Delaware River gunning-style decoy, Vincent Giannetto III has become one of the most collectible carvers of our time." End quote. Now, something else I learned from Vince's website, from reading so many articles that have been written about him, is that the White House has taken notice of Vince's talent, and he and his wife were invited to the White House by First Lady Laura Bush back in 2002, and one of his carvings, a small carving, was used as part of the White House Christmas tree that year, and is now part of the collection, the White House collection in the Smithsonian. Vince's decoys have also appeared in Rockefeller Center during the Christmas season. And speaking of Christmas, I have something else to show you, which is not a decoy, but it's actually a Santa, or a traveling Santa. Let me show that, bring that to the camera. You can see that. And you will notice right away something very distinctive about this Santa because of his team. It's not a team of reindeer, but it's a team of Canadian geese. All carved, the entire traveling Santa, all carved and painted by Vince. On Vince's website, there appears a slogan that goes like this: creating tomorrow's heirlooms today. And I can tell you, because this traveling Santa has already become an heirloom in my family. And it will be treasured, I think, I know it will be, for future generations. So, if you would like to learn more about Vince Giannetto and his exquisite carvings, check on his website below. And if you have not subscribed to Great Gifts Across America, please do that as well. Thank you.